accountability, I had to distance myself from people that weren't thinking the same way that I was, and then recognizing that behavior in others and attaching myself to people that not just being like-minded and having similar goals, but it was more about the value structure that I started to implement into my life. And that's how I started gauging who was the best people to put myself around who were also accountable. So I didn't have to worry all the time about trying to hold them to the same standard. It was more about, let me find people, maybe they don't have the same likes or dislikes or talent that I have, or maybe even the same interest. It was just, okay, are you able to check yourself like I am so that we can work well together, mesh well together, and get things done as quickly as possible? And that's more important. It's way more efficient. So that was a big thing for me, and it's a big reason why nowadays, like when I start feeling like that, like people aren't holding themselves accountable and like them not coming onto the show, like you said, I'll give you a call, I'll shoot you a message, hey, what's going on? You know, the moment you don't fucking respond, the moment too much time goes by,
you show some resistance
I'm
by
gone,
not
like,
responding.
On to the next. And it actually happened with this podcast, but more recently for me, it happened with art. I started trying to do freelance work in between my two jobs that I was, the one that went under and the one that I just got. And in that time, people were fucking up, dude. People were telling me that they wanted something. I worked with them on a budget, and then they set a date that they wanted to start, and all of a sudden it was like they weren't getting in contact with me. Drafted up contracts, started getting everything prepped for materials and how long it was going to take, scheduling out the actual deadline and how long it would take me to do the work and how long I could do that alongside everything else that I was doing. And they were the ones that set the date. It wasn't even me. So I sent them all the information. I got everything together. I broke down the fucking steps of what I needed from them. And then all of a sudden, like a week later, after the date that they set, a week later, they got back in touch with me and were like apologizing. Like, I hope I didn't waste your time and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, of course you fucking wasted my time.
You wasted my time.
You wasted your own time too. That's the fucked up part.
You had to draft up the contract. You gotta. You're waiting on them to get in contact with you after you're reaching out to them how many times, and it's just unfair. Like it's not fair. If you're not serious, if you don't take yourself seriously, don't expect other people to take you seriously. The moment I feel some type of resistance, I'm backing up. I'm going forward with what I'm doing, and you do what you got to do. You don't want to take yourself seriously. You don't really have that ambition to get shit done. Like, then I can't. I don't have time for it.
I had to catch myself with that too, because I started texting them back and like going down the line of like, well, I was going to explain to them, like, if you're that whole thing, if you're not going to take yourself seriously, because they had given me excuses as to why they hadn't gotten their brand up and running and all that stuff. Like, their dreams were bigger than their budget. And it's like, that's not the problem. It's not your budget. It's your mentality. It's your time management. And I started typing it up to like let them know. And it almost be like, yeah, dude, don't waste my fucking time. And I'm like, I'm wasting my time sending them this message. Like, and I stopped myself before I even sent it. And I even felt irritated with myself for having started drafting it. But luckily I was doing something else and I had to wait in that moment. And I didn't feel like I wasted too much of my time. But
exactly.
I was just like, yeah, don't even send it. Don't even respond. There's no point. Like, they're not going to get it anyway. They're not going to understand what I'm trying to teach them with accountability and like business and your ambition and attacking your goals and time management and prioritizing things. I'm like, don't even worry about it. Just fucking ignore it, move on, do something else. Exactly. I'm already doing more shit, so there's no fucking point.
Well, that's exactly like, okay, so how many times you were like, oh yeah, wasn't so-and-so supposed to come here? Weren't we supposed to record an episode with them today? And I'm just like, yeah, but whatever. Like, we're going to record. Like, they don't want to be here. Like, that's fine. Like, they made that choice. Don't reach out to me asking me to do X, Y, and Z for you, and you're not even putting in a slight effort. The most you did was reach out to me. You didn't do any fucking legwork for it. You didn't contact me back. And I'm not specifying one person. There's been definitely...
Was that at least 3?
We had at least 3 people. At least 3 or 4, something like that. Yeah, of course. It's a great idea. We're doing a podcast. Of course you want to join in. You want to have a part of it. You reached out to me about it. I didn't reach out to you. We weren't looking for anybody, to be honest.
Yeah, we were just building the show and talking about it because we were excited, like normal people do. You know, you're excited about something, you're discussing it with other people. I do that not to like, you know, brag about what I'm doing or like some naive thing where like I want to talk about everything that I do. Most of the time I'm talking about stuff to gauge people's responses and get feedback.
Yeah.
Because that's my audience, right? The people I'm talking to in real life before I even do the project are my target audience. I talk to my demographic. I go over ideas. I gauge their responses. And if they're like, well, you know, that's whatever, you know, I guess that's kind of cool. I rethink it. I restructure and I go, oh, maybe I understand why they are not excited about that. You know, and it's difficult as a creator, as a creative type, someone who creates things on a regular basis. You kind of lose touch with being the consumer side of things.
Yeah.
Because you're so busy creating all the time. It's a completely different mindset. So yeah, no, it happens all the fucking time. And people get excited and then they want to be a part of it because it's natural for people. And I have to constantly kind of fight myself to include too many people in the things that I do.
Yeah.
Because it's a waste of time. Because I know it's like, I think it's like the law of averages. You know, you talk to 100 fucking people, 10 of them are about it, 10 of them aren't, and, you know, 80% in the middle are indifferent, and you kind of have to sell them on it. But in a situation like this, where it's not, I'm literally selling you on being a part of this thing, it's just you want to because you're excited, then it's really just that 10% that you're looking for, that are super serious. They're probably also creative people that create their own stuff on their own time, and they're dedicated individuals with good work ethic. That's your target. Those are the people that will jump on, be a part of it, and not whine and complain about it. So, oh, we're getting a call. Great friend. He's about it.
He's about it for real.
He might actually be on the show. He's one of those people.
He's definitely going to be on the show.
He's one of those fucking people.
He's about it.
And I don't want to name his name yet, just in case.
You'll hear his name.
But I'm sure eventually he'll be on it. We're going to go hang out with him later today, right after this episode, actually. So, moving on. No, that's all right. No, I don't want to hit the fuck you button on him. I want to just let it ring. But anyway, it's fine. It's fine.
It was ringing for a while.
All right.
I didn't.
I don't like you touching my stuff like that, girl.
I didn't like it vibrating while people are trying to listen to our.
Oh, I'm loud enough. I cut right through that bullshit. So.
Okay, congrats.
Yeah. So a few minutes left. Let's see where else we're gonna go with this. There's plenty of stuff to talk about. Where are we at? Talked about the creative people. Talked about lack of accountability in terms of being a part of stuff. Projects I've done. Business. Partnerships with people.
Partnerships. You definitely can hit that.
I can hit that over and over again. You know what? I'll start. I'm not gonna start early. I'm gonna go back a lot further, and then maybe in the second part of this episode, I'll talk more about the more recent stuff. There was a project that I was a part of that I was actually invited in on, and I actually got back in touch with this kid. He finally got his shit together, and fucking reached out to me and like, dude, I want to fucking give that kid kudos. Like, I'm not going to name his name, but if he ever tunes into this episode, I want him to know, like, dude, good for you for pulling your head out of your ass and being accountable enough to reach out to people and hold yourself to your own bullshit. But I'm going to bring up a time that he had a project we were all supposed to be a part of when we were down in college, and it was a thing. It was a CG animated like short film that we wanted to do, and it was about Dragon Ball Z. And of course, like, you know, we're from that generation. We grew up watching anime, watching Dragon Ball Z, and we were so stoked about it because his concept was his concept. It was hyper real CG. If anyone's ever seen the cinematic for Assassin's Creed Revelations, it's fucking phenomenal. It's done by Blur Studios. I think it was Alex Cross who did the soundtrack for the actual clip, and it was like 2 minutes long, but it was really dope. We all loved it, and he was like, "What if we did a really high resolution CG animated like little short film for Dragon Ball Z. And we were all in that headspace at the time because we're in college working with CG all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, yo, we could so do this. So he put the whole thing together. He was drawing all the characters because he's a fantastic artist. Like, holy shit, this kid can fucking draw his ass off, especially when he draws people. And I was drawing all the environments, and I showed you a whole bunch of the sketches I did. So it wasn't like the project wasn't going places. Everyone was working, and everyone was creating, and we were almost done with pre-visualization. We were going to start structuring out the actual production aspect of it. And all of a sudden, and it was attached to another thing, I believe, his reasons for being so irritated with me, but all of a sudden he like disappeared. The day of like the pitch meeting, we were going to go over everything, bring more people on, and do the actual production side of it. So there was like 8 of us. It was me, 1, 2, 3, 4 people that we knew that we were friends with, him, the guy that I'm talking about who organized it, and then like there was 3 or 4 other people that were just coming on because they had just heard about it. And we were about to show everyone all of the work. Yeah. The environments were hanging up on our wall in our apartment. It was going to be at our apartment. He didn't have to go anywhere. Mm-hmm. Fucking all of his sketches were up. All of our friends' sketches were up. All the previs was done. And then he fucking disappeared. For the whole day. It wasn't like he disappeared and got back in touch with us later that night. Like, oh, I'm sorry. It was like a whole 24 fucking hours. He didn't turn up until the next fucking day. He didn't even come back to our apartment. I didn't know where the fuck the kid went.
Yeah, that's...
It was fucking insane. And like I said, kudos to him for getting his shit together, but goddamn, dude, that's the kind of stuff that's happened over and over and over my lifetime throughout projects that I've tried to fucking get done. And that's just one instance. There was another one that happened just after that. Same guy, not the same guy that I'm talking about, but it was another person that was a part of that same project that I was really close with. We were hanging out. He was also from New Jersey, and he was much older than me. He was maybe about 7, 8 years older than me. He was almost my sister's age. And we were cool down there. I crashed his fucking crib a bunch. We fucking started a whole company together called Third Eye Entertainment. And I helped him develop the entire business. And then all of a sudden, after about a year and a half of work, and then a shit ton of my money dumped into it, he fucking disappeared.
Gotta love it.
Sold my fucking TV.
Oh, yeah.
I think I talked about this on another episode.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And then it bugs me. It's one of those things.
Pre-recorded.
It really fucking bugs me, dude. This is one of those guys that just like, holy shit, you're out of your fucking mind.
Oh my god.
And then fucking proceeded to like try to jump right back in to the company that I built with him disappearing, and tried to like take creative control like it was his. I'm like, dude, fuck you, bro. I dropped like fucking 10 grand of my own money into this fucking project, into this company, developing productions, other podcasts, doing live events, going out, networking. Like, dude, a year and a half of solid work. And then other people dropped. I had partners who also dropped like 10 fucking grand into the partnership and into the conglomerate that we were trying to create. And he came back like, tried to like fucking shrug off the TV he sold and the money he owed me. I kept his lights on for like a month. Fucking gave him like $1,900 or some shit. Again, of my money, my hard-earned fucking money. And then, try to start another project. Fuck all you people. I'm sorry. You guys are assholes, man. And he's not accountable enough to call me up and apologize for his bullshit. I know he'll never do it. I know he'll never fucking do it. He's too fucking stubborn. And so, yeah, no, that's... Sorry, that was a rant and a half, I know.
Too late to apologize.
It's too late. Too late to apologize.
Well...
My voice is like butter.
I guess.
The voice of an angel.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Pipes of an angel.
Pipe game strong?
Yeah, your pipe game real strong.
Anyway, guys, so that's the end of this part of the episode. We have another part that's about to come up in 30 fucking seconds. Once I'm done ending this, you just jump right over to part 2, and we'll see you on the second part. Peace.